And welcome back, this is Baller Scuba with more Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm joined as always by my optional squad of Rain, Shulk, and Fiora. When we last left off, we made it to the Tephra Cave entrance. Now we're going to take some time to take care of some optional stuff so that I get a significant amount of levels. We are going to get so much more powerful as a result of this. We're already level 5, but we'll probably get to level 10 by the time we're done at least. Let's take a look at a couple things that I want to manage before we head forward. First, let's go back to the Collectopaedia because we have gotten more things and some of them can go back there. So the first one that we have is the Sweet Wasabi. We only needed the one, so we have more than enough with 4. Let's go ahead and drop it in. A strange, spicy, sweet green wasabi. It looks quite normal otherwise. Now, cool potatoes I'm going to need a few of. I don't have enough, unfortunately. Red lettuce, we do have 2. I only needed the 1. So we do have extras. We'll go over how to deal with extras later, but right now, don't use them. Just hold on to them for the time being. But the red lettuce can go in. A particularly spicy lettuce that kids are keen to avoid, as opposed to all the lettuces that kids love. Dance apples I'm going to need a lot of. For the record, this gray one we haven't found yet. They don't tell you where it is anyway. Black kiwi, we are ready to put that in. We only needed the 1. A tremendously bitter kiwi fruit with a tremendously addictive taste. I can't say I've ever been addicted to kiwi, but I haven't tried a black one yet. Strong dandelion we already had in there. A moonflower can be put in as well. A large, round, lofty blue flower. All other blooms fade when it opens. It's a poisonous flower then. Dawn hydrangeas, we're going to need a lot of them. We got the 1. White beetle we already put in. The giant hornet we can put down. A giant white hornet, so heavy it squashes any flower it alights on. That's probably not good for the flower. Blue chain. We still need blue chains. Yeah, we got 2. Rabbit diodes, I'm going to need quite a few of those. I only have 3. That's not going to be enough. But plate snow, we only need what I have already. So let's go ahead and put one of the plate snows down. A horrible white thing that Fiora named when she was little. That's not very descriptive. But we're almost halfway done with Colony 9 as a result of that. There is another section here. This is called Other. This can only be found through trading. You cannot find these out in the world. We'll go over that more at some other point. Now, all of them can be found in my inventory. We only have a few things in inventory after all, though. We have weapons. We'll go over equipment more later once I have more that I can do with it, and I'll go over how I look at equipping people properly. But we have stuff for the legs and feet and arms and head and torso and weapons and all that good stuff. But then we have materials here. We have stiff hairs, bunnet paws, broken antenna. This is stuff that we picked up from the enemies that we killed around here. This is mostly useless, let's be honest. The broken antenna, who wants that? Apparently a couple people. But I would still recommend that you do not sell these just yet. Just hold on to them for the time being. The game will let you know when you're going to have to start thinking about selling them and stuff like that. But for the time being, just hold on to them. Arts manuals, we haven't purchased any yet. Once we do, we will use them immediately. This will not be a full inventory screen here. Key items, we don't have any. Gems, we don't have any. Crystals, we do have some. I believe we picked these off of, well, a caterpillar and a skeeter. This will become more obvious later. Just hold on to these. Don't do anything with them. Just, you know, the higher the percentage, the better. I can say that, but we'll figure out why later. And we have collectibles. This is where all my spares are, and the ones that I haven't used. Once again, just hold on to them for the time being. All right, we didn't fully go over arts before. Let's do that now. One quick thing with Rhine, because I watched back the footage and I didn't complete my thought. Let's complete it now. Purple is magic. All right, that completed my thought. Purple is magic / ether, however you want to look at it, so it is distinctly different from these other colors. We'll go over why the colors are important later, but just for the time being, know that is what all the colors mean. Now I do want to level something up for Rhine. I have to be particularly careful what I level up with Rhine, because some things are better than others. For instance, Rage, I'm probably not going to do anything with Rage. I don't like Rage. But Bone Upper, we'll do some stuff there. Let's level up Bone Upper. Increases its damage significantly, up to, let's see, 12 to 13 more per hit. That sounds good to me. Also lowers the cooldown by a couple tenths of a second, and then it does increase his talent gauge when he uses it from 12% to 14%. Let's go ahead and level that up. That sounds good. Now, we don't have anything for Fiora, but we might as well go over what she has. She has the Butterfly Step. It's a 4-attack combo. It does quite a bit of damage. I do like it. Then we have Screw Edge. That is pink, so it does break enemies. It's only to a close enemy, as a lot of Fiora stuff is. Does a little bit of damage, but there you go. Power Smash, more powerful from behind. They don't necessarily tell you that. I guess they kind of tell you because it looks the same as backslash, but they didn't actually say it in the name like backslash. They said it in Power Smash. Anyway, if you attack from behind, 3 times the amount of damage as attacking from the front. And then we have Hidden Thorn. This is our first yellow ability. Yellow is Daze. So if an enemy is toppled, Fiora can hit the enemy with Hidden Thorn and it will daze the enemy. I am a big fan of daze when I can land it, and I hate it when it's landed on me, as I'm sure you might expect. You don't have enough AP to level up anything with her. That will change, and then honestly with her I don't necessarily have to be all that cautious. The only one I have to be cautious about leveling up arts with is Rhine. That's the only one. Everybody else I can just kind of go with whatever feels right, especially Shulk. Pretty much all of Shulk's stuff is good. I like all of it, but we can say it as necessary. Also, you can switch it around by pressing C, but I pretty much stuck with the initial setup the entire time with Shulk, so we don't need to rearrange anything just yet. Alright, we also need to go into skills and look at Fiora, since we haven't looked at her yet. She has Courage, Zeal, and Daring. Now, what I have gathered in skill points so far has gone to Desperate Daggers. 53 skill points in particular. Increases counterattack rate when HP is at half. I'm never that big of a fan of conditional skills like that. I like stuff that happens all the time, you know? So what I'm going to do instead is put it on either Daring or Zeal. Let's take a look at Zeal first. It increases the block rate when HP is at half. That does hit the whole party though. Same with Desperate Daggers. But Daring is what I want to do first. Grants strength up buff at start of battle. I like the sound of that. Strength up by 15%, lasts 30 seconds. Let's learn that. Notice that as I change it, the points that were in Desperate Daggers do not move, nor do they disappear. They're just there kind of permanently. So they're not wasted, they're just misallocated for the time being. So no real loss, just a little bit slower on the other stuff that I wanted to get. Like Battle Stance. That sounds good. That sounds good. We don't need to equip just yet. We'll go over that more later. For the time being, though, like I said before, we're going to do optional things. The first optional thing that I want to do is talk to this guy. He's got a quest for me. He's got a few quests, actually. Going into the cave, can you kill a willow bunny for me? They attack in packs, so it can be quite a nuisance. And we get our first side quest, Monster Quest 4 Part 1. It's not a particularly good name for our first side quest, but it is the first one that we got because he's here. Help the Defense Force soldier by defeating the monster threatening the safety of Tephra Cave. Defeat one willow bunny in Tephra Cave. This one's going to be really easy, but we're going to put it off for a while. Tephra Cave is tougher than Colony 9 because it's forward in the plot. But we get 1,000 gold if we complete it. So I'm going to complete it. Cheers for taking that on. I'll be glad to see Tephra Cave get even just a little bit safer. And he's got another quest for me. If you're heading in, can you take out a couple of singing brogs? They hang around in front of the ruins giving us no end of trouble. And Monster Quest 4 Part 2 has now been given to us. Anytime you get a monster quest dash part something, that means the guy's gonna give you more quests. I say guy, but could be a girl too. But either way, if it says part something, they're going to give you another part immediately after you're done talking to them. So pretty much the same thing when it comes to the description, except now I have to defeat 2 singing frogs in Tefra Cave. 1,500 gold when I complete it. Don't even have to turn it in. Thanks for that. Make sure you be careful. I don't want to see you get hurt. Yes. And he's got another one. Seeing as you're here, can you do one more thing for me? I want you to kill some Mel lizards. The path through Magmel ruins is crawling with the things. Us in the defense force are having to tiptoe our way past. And now we have to defeat 5 Mel lizards. This one, if I remember correctly, actually takes some work from me. But 1,200 gold for doing it. I didn't want to do it after all. You're really a brave one. Greedy is more like it. Remember, you're doing this for everyone in the defense force. Sure. Now you can't talk to him again. See all that hunk of metal sticking out the side of the cliff there? You'll find ether cylinders inside that thing. To get there, go through the cave and round to the other side. That's how we get there. The regular people don't necessarily have the most interesting things to say, but this guy actually has been interesting so far, so maybe I shouldn't say that too soon. You lot look like you can handle yourselves, but keep an eye out. Now there was another one here, right? Do you have anything interesting to say? You're going to collect ether cylinders. It's a bit of a job getting there, but getting back's easy. Why? Because you can just jump into the water. Might be a bit scary though. That is actually important. What the hell? Make sure the girl doesn't get hurt. Sexist. And you there, the scrawny one, get the big one to help you out. And sizist. How dare you? The 3 of you are the funniest lot I've seen around here in ages. Don't I live here? Alright, either way, we are done there. I'm gonna pick that up before we go. I see it in the distance. Gonna go ahead and grab that. Ooh, a blue chain. Still needing another one now. Alright, what we are going to do now, actually let's do it the old-fashioned way. Isn't it 1? It is 1. If you press the 1 button on the Wiimote, go straight to the map. That's going to be vital for us. Save us probably about 30 minutes to an hour overall if I remember to do that every time. Alright, so from the map, I haven't really gone over the map too much. You can see heart-to-heart locations here. You can also see ways to move forward, that's what that looks like, or ways to another area. Right, there's the Tefra Cave, right, if the game will stop on it, right there. And then there's the landmarks. The landmarks look like that, and then you get names for all the different locations, and then you do get a symbol for where the shops are. But there are primarily 2 ways of moving around the map. There's what I'm doing now, which is the analog stick, and then when you're on a landmark, you can press up and down to switch between landmarks, but they don't go in any particular order I've found, so I like just using the analog stick. It's easier for me. We need to head back to the main entrance today. And I'm not going that way. I'm going inside. But in order to do things properly, we are going to have to change the time. To do that, what we're going to do is head right there, change the time. I know when I first played that, played the game, I didn't understand that they meant the game time, not like my Wii time. You know what I mean? It was just, well, that's weird. Why would they ask me to do that? Oh, that's what they mean. Took me a little bit, but I got it. All right, we're going to change it to noon. Oh, I should point out, while we're speaking of time, this is one of the first Britishisms, I guess I could say. Really, it's just a non-Americanism, but in this game, they primarily use what we Americans call military time, which is, it's not 1 p.m., it's 13 o'clock, which honestly makes more sense, but it's just not something that I'm used to, so I have to do the math in my head about what time it is. So 1 p.m., 13 o'clock, right, and it goes all the way around to 23, and then back to 0. So that's the way that the clock works in that. Something that, you know, if you're an American, you might not necessarily be used to. All right, so now it's noon, and people are out. Like you, Dorothy. You're going to be our first friend. Let's talk to Dorothy.
Hi.
Hi. You know the soldier who keeps watch in the residential district? She's my friend. She's been in the defense force longer than me. I should go out somewhere with her, have a little fun. And we get an achievement, we get a tutorial for talking to somebody. What we have done is unlock the Affinity Chart. Talking to named residents of an area or town will register them on the Affinity Chart, which shows the relationships between party members and the residents, which is why I was trying to look at it before, but I didn't realize that it wasn't unlocked until I talked to somebody. So we can view our affinity with people and areas and amongst ourselves in the Affinity Chart. We'll be spending quite a bit of time working on the Affinity Chart. I probably won't be checking it as often as I should, though. We're definitely not going to do it every time it updates. It's kind of ridiculous, but we'll do it when we complete quests and that updates things and things like that. Most of it's pretty self-explanatory. But let's take a look at it now. Like I said, you get an achievement. Your first friend. You're so mean, game. All right, there's Dorothy. She's all alone here. Let's zoom out a little bit. She's all alone on this massive chart. We will fill that in completely as we go through. But let's zoom in again. So here's where we can look at the affinity for our party. So let's look at the party affinity. As you can see, it's yellow across the board. What that means primarily is that we can't view heart-to-hearts for anybody. The one between Shulk and Fiora, where they only need the yellow affinity, that's the only heart-to-heart in the game that needs that. Everything else needs at least green, but we don't have that with anybody. Even though I thought we were best friends our whole lives, we don't have the affinity to really show that. All right, then it's kind of sorted out into areas. We only have the one area over here, so it starts on the top left, the Colony 9 area. As you can see, we have 1 star out of 5. I'm going to refer to this as 1-star affinity. As we continue to do quests for people in town, particularly the side quests, they will increase our affinity in the region. As our affinity in the region increases, we get access to more quests, and we get access to better trades, and we get access to a whole bunch of things. But it's going to take some time. These things don't happen quickly. So that's the Affinity Chart. By the way, talk to everybody twice. If I do go out somewhere with her, I mustn't spend too much, though. Maybe I should sell materials, too. There's good money in that, right? There is indeed. Also, let's try to trade. We'll trade. You know what? We won't trade with Dorothy. She doesn't have anything. Let's talk to Liliana over here. That snot-nosed brother of mine. I said I'd play with him, and he just ran off. Well, whatever. I can play by myself. Let's talk to her again.
Look at this.
Look at this. Rocco seems down in the dumps lately. Something's bothering him. But that's not my problem. I'll let him sort it out. All right, let's trade with Liliana if we can. Go up and press 2.
Look at this.
A trade? You'll find that people say the same thing over and over when you talk to them, even though it's not relevant to anything. And we get a tutorial for how to trade. You select the thing you want, and then you select what you're willing to give them. If you do what's known as an overtrade, you give them something really good for something kind of crappy, they'll usually help you out by throwing in a bonus item. And sometimes those bonus items are what we want, but for the time being, I don't think there's anything particularly good here. She does sell Colony Top, which Shulk and Fiora already have equipped, so obviously not going to be an upgrade. Rhine doesn't want it either. I am not going to trade for armors or weapons or anything like that. Honestly, what we find with the side quests and things like that are better, so I will be getting those through side quests, not through trades. I'm not that big of a fan of the trading. There's going to be some parts where we have to trade, so obviously I'm going to do that when necessary. But for the most part, I'm going to try to get all the items that I need through other means than trading, either going out and finding them or all that kind of stuff. But if it takes too long, then of course I'm just going to come back and trade for it. But what we are typically going to trade for is usually here. The broken antenna, obviously I do not care about, but this is the menu part where I'm going to find things that I could want. Also here, the dance apple, for instance. Like I said, I did need 6 of them overall. I could just trade with her right now. As you can see, a dance apple is worth 2,700 gold. But I'm going to wait, like I said. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing in Colony 9, so I don't want to trade for them now and then get like 5, 6 more later. You know what I mean? So we're going to try to go get as many dance apples as we can kind of naturally, and then if we still don't have enough, we'll be back to trade with Liliana here. So that's trading, I guess. I mean, we could trade like a broken antenna for like a stiff hair. Sure, why not? It doesn't really matter. Sure, trade. See you next time. And we got a level up for an achievement because we traded. We got the achievement Equivalent Exchange. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about talking to all the Colony 9 residents. They all do say something. You know the Magmel ruins? You can see them from the entrance to the colony. You know that great big metal thing sticking out of the rock? Well, jumping down from there is the quickest way to get back here. But it's really scary. I did it once when I was young and foolish. Well, they do say interesting things. I should talk to them. If you're falling, just make sure there's water below you. Then you'll be safe no matter how big the drop is. Try it out. Don't tell me to try that out, man. It needs to be deep enough water. You didn't say that. If it's just like a little pond or a puddle, it's not always going to be enough. Not always going to be enough. All right, Marsha, the first interesting quest of the game. I highly recommend that you have Fiora for this. How you doing? Dearie me, my grandsons are having quite the altercation. And now to get the upper hand, they are both in training. That doesn't sound good. Yeah, sounds like a pain. All right, we got a random occurrence. As far as I can tell, it's random. What happened is that Ryan says a very generic statement and increases his affinity with the party leader. As a result, when you're getting side quests, a lot of times you'll want to put somebody that has low affinity with other party members as the lead character, and they can build affinity by these random occurrences. That's why I highly recommend that you have 3 people in your party when you accept quests, which is why I said to put off doing the optional stuff until this point, because this is the first point in the game where we had 3 people. Plus, we need Fiora for this one, and I'll go over that more later. But that's one kind of comment that you can get in the game. There are things known as unique comments. This was not a unique comment. This was a very generic thing to say, and it increases your affinity between characters when it is said. Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous? I certainly haven't. I do hope the younger of the 2 wins, though. He is my flesh and blood, after all. And now I do believe... Oh, not quite yet. That's why I'd like to take him the biscuits I've made. That's why I'd like someone to take him the biscuits I've made. Sorry, I get crazy in my old age. It might encourage him to train harder. And here we get the unique comment. Now, a unique comment does not raise affinity between characters, and it is said by a very particular character. This is why I said he had to bring Fiora for this. If Fiora is not in the party, this comment does not get made. I will be going out of my way to find all of the unique comments that I know about in the game, and it's going to put off some quests at some point, but for the time being, Fiora is here with her unique comment. Why do you want the younger one to win? They're both family. Oh, that's right, Fiora. You wouldn't know. Anyway, that's our business. I shouldn't have said anything. In any case, would you mind helping me with this? And we get ourselves yet another new quest. This time it has a name that's interesting. It's not just, monster quest something part something. We get biscuits for a grandson. This was given to us by Marsha. Take Marsha's biscuits to her grandson, Jarok. Jarok is in the residential district training to win a fight with his older brother. Take Marsha's biscuits to Jarok. And we get 800 gold for this, which is kind of significant considering that we don't really have to do much other than go talk to another person. And we get 30 experience for this. And this is why doing the optional quests is vital. We'll be getting a ton of experience overall from this. 30 doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, this is just one quest. And we also get swimming sandals from this, which is a piece of equipment after all. Let's go ahead and accept this. I'm most grateful. My legs aren't what they used to be, you see. Even getting to the residential district is awkward. I'll make you some biscuits. No problem, leave it to me. That's right, we can handle it. More affinity between Ryan and Shulk. That's not going to be an issue. The affinity between the two of them, like I said, that levels up quickly. I use them together a lot. Make sure my grandson gets those biscuits. All of them, preferably. She's accepting that I'm gonna eat a couple on the way. She's just okay with that. Now that is weird. That is very weird. All right, so we have the biscuits here. Let's go ahead and just take them after all. And we have our first key item. I don't think it's relatively that important. 10 more experience our way. We do get an update to the Affinity Chart as well. Like I said, I'm not going to go over all of them, but just wanted to show off, I should say, that there is a little bit more information here. No links between people just yet. We will definitely get links later on, similar to the links that we saw between our characters. Let's talk to Marsha again. Once again, talk to everybody twice. You'll find my grandson, Jarok, in the residential district. He trains there every night. Anything else? Nope, that is it from Marsha. All right, how much money do I have here? What do I want? Well, I know what I want. I'm just wondering if I can afford it. Just want art manuals. All right, we can purchase Bone Upper. Now, eventually I'm going to purchase all of these, to be honest with you. And the earlier, the better, I would say. So let's go ahead and purchase Bone Upper. I have enough money to get one after all. I still have 600, but we'll get the rest of it later. As you can see, making money is not going to be that big of an issue for me. Thank you. Please come again. So, let's take a look at arts. Oh, no. Items. Inventory. It's going to be an art eventually, but what I want to do is head to the arts manual section, and here we can find Bone Upper. Intermediate level. The ones that you purchase are intermediate level. It allows Ryan to learn further levels of this art. Let's go ahead and select it and learn it. Bone Upper is now intermediate level. And we got another achievement, one step further, 100 more experience my way as a result. We're gonna get experience pretty quickly here. Let's head into the art section so we can see what I have done. Let's go over to Ryan where we can see Bone Upper here. As you can see, up to level 6 now has been unlocked. Obviously, I'm gonna need a ton of AP in order to make that happen, but it's now available. With everything else, once they're up to level 4, I can't do anything more with them. But with it the way that it is, I can learn all the way up to level 7, which I am a fan of. All right, let's continue on talking to random people, like this little Nopon here. Has friends seen ether crystal deposits on surface? They formed by high pressure and heat inside body of Bionis. I didn't really emphasize this before, but that was all true that we saw. We actually do live on Bionis in this game, and we are kind of on the back of the lower leg of Bionis. I don't know, right or left. I wasn't paying close enough attention, but we're essentially on the calf of a giant being known as Bionis. That's completely true. If lots of similar ether particle in crystal has property. Red is fire. You get idea. Hunt for different ones. I will not hunt. I'll just get them normally. And here we can talk to Sonia. My good-for-nothing son broke something very dear to me. It was all I had left to remember my husband by, and now it's gone. He passed away a mere year ago. Oh, he's such a spoiled little boy. Talk to you again. If you see a boy looking really sullen, that's probably my son. Mind trying to cheer him up a bit? I'll think about it. What do you have to say? Buy one of these fabulous ether lamps. It'll brighten up any home. Good quality products, just like the ones that light up the colony. In stock, but going fast. 50% off. Get your ether lamps, 50% off. Nothing sets a romantic mood better. Have anything else to say? Oh, you did. Sorry, I went too fast. Let's go through it again. Alright, second one here. Come on, you know you want an ether lamp. They last forever. When it goes dim, just change the ether cylinder. Plus, it's 50% off. Well, we got something.